We spend our lives working on rockets, dreaming of Mars, solving impossible engineering problems, but sometimes, the universe throws something at you that makes you stop and question everything you thought you knew. That's exactly what's happening right now. We have two highly advanced probes out there, Parker and Solar Orbiter, our eyes and ears near the Sun. For the past several weeks, they've been sending back data that simply doesn't make sense. The laws of physics, as we understand them, are breaking down. It's all about the solar wind, the constant stream of plasma flowing outward from the Sun. It should travel in a straight, radial path. That's a fundamental rule. But it isn't. It's bending. And it's not gravity causing it, we checked. There's no massive object nearby. The flow of plasma, pure energy, is being deflected as if guided by an invisible hand. Every single bit of data points to one origin, Object 3ATC, the third interstellar visitor to enter our solar system. At first, everyone assumed it was just another comet, nothing interesting. But then we turned the James Webb Telescope toward it, and that's when things became truly extraordinary. This object doesn't just reflect light, it modulates it. It's not a dead rock, it's responding. It absorbs energy and sends it back out as a structured, mathematically precise signal. This isn't random noise, it's a pattern, an algorithm. And the way it bends the solar wind is pure madness, the geometry of that curve is flawless. Nature doesn't behave that way. Nature is chaotic, full of entropy. Perfect symmetry, surgical precision, those are signs of intelligence, of technology. We went through every possible natural explanation, magnetic reconnect ion, plasma waves, anything that might fit. Nothing matches. The data is screaming that none of our current models are right. Then came the spectral analysis, and that's the crucial part. Its surface isn't just nickel and cobalt. It's an alloy, one with properties uncannily similar to a superconductor. Think about that from a first principles perspective. If you have superconducting material, you can generate and manipulate immense magnetic fields with almost no energy loss. And what do we see? An object literally drinking in the energy of the solar wind and converting it into a massive magnetic field, one so powerful it can repel and sculpt streams of plasma from an entire star. That's both a shield and a propulsion system. The calculations show that to achieve such control, it would require power equivalent to that of a small star. No natural object could do that. This is artificial, a constructed technology. What we're witnessing isn't just a spacecraft, it's a form of engineering far beyond anything humanity has ever conceived. This isn't some primitive sail catching the wind, it's something that has mastered the very essence of it, riding the star's plasma itself for navigation. Whoever built this, or whatever it is, has mastered magnetohydrodynamics on a level that's pure science fiction to us. While we're still trying to lift ourselves off the ground, someone, or something, out there has already been speaking to the stars in their own language. And that, someone, has just entered our solar system. This changes everything. Absolutely everything. What scientists are seeing is far more than another interstellar traveler. It's a direct and undeniable challenge to everything we thought possible. Because if this object truly can manipulate the solar wind at will, then there exists some kind of intelligence, organic or artificial, capable of interacting with our Sun in real time. Our star, the very source of all life on Earth, appears to be responding to this visitor, this presence from beyond our reach. At first, we thought it might be a coincidence, a strange alignment or an observational error. But then the signals started to repeat. Every few hours, the same mathematical sequence echoed back through the instruments, synchronized perfectly with fluctuations in the Sun's magnetic field. It was as though the Sun and this object were communicating, a call and response, a cosmic dialogue written in plasma and light. And if that's true, then we're witnessing something beyond any human comprehension, an active exchange between a star and an unknown intelligence. Imagine it, a being or mechanism capable of controlling the behavior of a star itself. We used to think of solar winds as random turbulence, a chaotic river of charged particles, but what if, for them, it's language? What if they speak through the medium of stars? Our scientists went silent for days. The deeper they looked, the more impossible it seemed. Every model we built collapsed under the data. It was like trying to explain an orchestra using only the physics of falling rocks. We sent teams to recheck instruments, recalibrate sensors, eliminate errors, but nothing changed. The readings were consistent, perfect, unyielding. This was real. Then we noticed something else. The object wasn't drifting randomly. It was following a trajectory, an intentional, precise path, one that would eventually bring it closer to the inner solar system. It was accelerating, but not in a way any engine we know could produce. It wasn't pushing against anything. It was being pulled, or perhaps guided, by the sun's own energy, riding its magnetic currents like a surfer riding a wave made of light. When we modeled its path, it formed patterns, repeating geometrical shapes, sacred like spirals embedded in motion itself. You could overlay them with Fibonacci sequences, golden ratios, and perfect harmonics. It was as if its entire motion was a message, a mathematical expression of intent. One of our astrophysicists said quietly, "It's not moving through the solar system, it's writing on it." And that thought chilled everyone in the room. Because if it's writing, then someone expects us to read it. What makes it even more unsettling is how old it might be. Based on its composition and velocity, this object could have been traveling for millions, maybe billions, of years. It might predate humanity itself. Perhaps it's a relic, an ancient machine left behind by a civilization that no longer exists, or maybe one that still does, somewhere among the stars. And if it's communicating, then the signal isn't just for us. It could be for the sun itself, as if rekindling an ancient conversation that's been dormant for eons. The implications are staggering. We've always assumed stars were just natural furnaces, mindless engines of fusion. But what if they are more than that? What if, in some distant cosmic sense, stars are aware? Maybe not in a biological way, but as conscious entities of energy and field, vast intelligences whose lifespans make our civilizations look like sparks. And this visitor, 3ATC, might be interacting with one of them. If that's true, we're not just studying astrophysics anymore. We're eavesdropping on the universe itself. When the first full data package reached Earth, it spread through the scientific community like wildfire. Within hours, labs across the world were reviewing the files, and disbelief turned to awe. The object's energy pattern wasn't random at all. It followed harmonic intervals, frequency bands that resonated perfectly with the electromagnetic oscillations of our own Sunday. It was like listening to two instruments tuning to the same note across the void. Then someone ran a Fourier transform on the returning signal, and what appeared was a repeating mathematical lattice, identical to the geometry of DNA's double helix. Coincidence? Maybe. But then the sequence shifted slightly, evolving, adapting, as though aware it was being observed. Some called it pareidolia, a trick of perception, but others weren't so sure. The UN quietly convened a private panel, astrophysicists, linguists, AI experts, even philosophers. Behind closed doors, they debated what humanity should do next. Should we attempt to respond? Should we send a signal? The arguments were fierce. Some said it was too dangerous, that if this was truly an intelligence capable of harnessing solar power, we would be like ants shouting at a thunderstorm. Others insisted that silence would be a betrayal of curiosity itself. If the universe finally speaks, one scientist said, how could we not answer? Meanwhile, new data revealed something even stranger. The magnetic distortions caused by the object weren't just affecting solar wind patterns, they were subtly altering the heliosphere itself, the invisible bubble of space shaped by the sun's energy that shields the planets from interstellar radiation. Its boundaries were fluctuating, pulsing rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. Instruments on Voyager 2, far out beyond Pluto, picked up matching signatures, a low, steady vibration passing through the plasma of space. For the first time, we realized that the entire solar system was resonating in response to this thing. And that's when the fear began. If it could manipulate the sun, even slightly, what else could it do? A small change in solar output could scorch planets or freeze them. Humanity has always looked to the sun as something eternal, stable, but now we were forced to confront the possibility that our star could be influenced. Some scientists argued it was benevolent, that perhaps it was restoring balance or stabilizing solar cycles. Others feared it was testing the system, probing for weakness, or performing some kind of cosmic experiment we didn't understand. Governments began to classify the data.